What's up, you guys? It's Mr. Icebox here with another video. Okay, so today I want to talk to you guys about my mostly used Photoshop tools and how I use them. Oh yeah, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Help me to continue to help you. All right, so let's get right into it. So these are my everyday go-to tools that I use when I'm editing my images. And for the most part, they all help me to get the job done. Um, I will be going over them in order of how I use them, and I'm going to give a brief description of them. And I'm not going to get too deep into the actual tool itself, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be making a tutorial on each and every tool over as time goes, to kind of help you guys get familiarized with Photoshop. All right. So today, these are the ones I mostly use when I'm starting off, and like they're very detrimental to my editing process. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so the first tool that I use is gonna be, let me zoom in so you guys can actually see how I use it as well. Give me a second. Okay. All right, so the first tool I use it definitely has to be the healing brush. And on when I use the healing brush to start my process, I usually go with an empty layer. So I create an empty layer over here, if you guys can see that, okay? And then I want to line it up the way, okay, so let's say we want to remove some of these hairlines right here, just to start off. And I'll use other tools to kind of get more in depth to it, but I usually like to clear the skin. So with this tool right here, this is how I start the process. So I'm going to be selecting from a totally different area and just removing the hair that's on our forehead. And I always reselect every time I go back and do the process. Okay. And as you can see, that removes the hair. So let me show you a before and after. That's before, and that's after. That's before, and that's after. So I mean, this tool right here, I've been using this tool like when I didn't know anything about Photoshop. This was the first tool that I learned. And I feel like I've mastered this tool, that I cannot do an edit without this tool. And honestly, I don't think anyone should. I think this is one of the, like, a tool that can actually, it will elevate your workflow overall when you know how to use it. So I would definitely be trying to master this tool as much as possible. I like it because I can select an area that I want a specific area to be cleaned up and kind of look exactly alike. Okay, so we have different colors here, we have different colors here, we have different colors always on on the outside where the light doesn't actually penetrate fully. So I like to match it as much as possible. So if I'm going to clean this area right here, I want to be right in the general vicinity, so it can kind of match that. And also use it for some blending too. And I know what people are going to say, oh, you're not supposed to use it. Listen, I do what I want to do, and I do it how I want to do it. It's when you're using Photoshop, what I noticed when I first started using Photoshop was that you can do a million different things to get the same result. So I don't, it's going to be based on what you're comfortable with. Okay. So, but yeah, this is how I use that. All right. So let's go on to the next tool. The next tool is going to be the lasso tool. And the lasso tool helps you make freehand selections on an image. So let me go ahead and show you that. And that's right here. This is the lasso tool here. So typically I'm inside of a frequency separation layer when I'm doing this, but I'm going to show you how it works though, just here without creating those layers. Okay, so this is the lasso tool. So let's say this area right here, I wanted to generally change the color of this area here. And you would have to have stamped these layers together. So let me go ahead and do that now. Okay, I can stamp those layers together, and then let's go ahead and grab, like, I don't know, let's grab this. Okay, so now it made a layer mask of that actual selection. So if I, in that little area, if I want to change the color of that specific area, I can do so. You see that? It's just gonna affect that area. So I made a layer mask based on that selection. You see that? So let's say that the tones on her skin is off, and I wanted to make a quick selection without going into it too deeply. I can do it like this. All right, I can bring down the saturation of a specific area. So let's try that. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so she has no, like here. All right, let's go back real quick. Let me show you. All right, so you see there's really no saturation there, but let's say this area right here was overly saturated. What I can do is I can make that selection and then bring that saturation down. You see that? I can bring that saturation all the way down. All right, I can also mess with the brightness and everything here, but typically I don't use this method to do any type of tonal adjustments or anything like that. So, but I just wanted to show you guys that, again, that's the lasso tool. And also with the lasso tool, I can make a selection around an image, just a quick selection around an image to copy something. I can do a ton of things with this, with the lasso tool. I've used the lasso tool to actually remove, to copy an eye from one side to the next and put it on the other side if that was giving me issues and stuff like that. But let's not get into that. Okay, so my next tool up is gonna be the paintbrush. This tool alone needs its own tutorial. Like, there's so many applications for this tool. It can be used so many different ways, but primarily I use this on a layer mask to add or to remove a stroke. So if, like, okay, you see how let's go back. Let me step forward again. And I'm gonna bring back that, let's see if I can bring back that one layer that we had before. All right, so go back. Okay, so you see here, now with the paintbrush tool, and the paintbrush tool is right here on this layer itself. Okay, so let's say I made some changes here to that selection, and I wanted to go in and erase those items, right? I could do that by switching the colors of the brush itself, and I'll show you guys that later down the road, but I just wanted to kind of explain what these tools do and a little bit of its usage. Also, with the paintbrush tool, there's so many, like I said, there's so many different applications. There's an application that I use in here where I can add in eyelashes and eyebrows and everything with the paintbrush tool. But typically, you're working on a layer mask, and I can erase that entire selection and put it right back to where I want it to be at. So let me just see that. Okay. All right. So let's get into that. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So let's say I want to let's say I want to change her lip color, right? Okay. Let's say with her I wanted to change her lip color up. I would put it on an empty layer, and then I would just paint over the lips real quick, and then I would change the actual blend mode. Now I'm doing this really quick. I'm not being precise how I usually am, so just for demonstration purposes. See how it changes the lip color, and then I'm just looking for the best match that I can use, and typically it's usually going to be like overlay or soft. Even that one is okay. Or soft light. Okay, there's soft light, and then I bring the opacity down a little bit. It's a subtle change, but it gets the job done. And I can add makeup with it, everything, the whole 9 yards. I can even add makeup behind these glasses if I wanted to. All right, so that's the paintbrush. Try to study that as much as possible. Go over that and learn that man, it's going to be a tool that's going to help you guys all over. Can add some makeup. See that? Get a little rosy skin, a little rosy cheeks, then bring the opacity down on that. You know, give some color to our skin. I can do so much with with the paintbrush. It's amazing. And there's a before, and there's an after. I just gave her a little bit of color. Also, it's the same brush that I use for dodge and burn, and I'll show you guys that later. I'll do a whole tutorial on the different ways of dodging and burning. Okay, so that's the paintbrush. Now, last but not least, it definitely is gonna have to be the cloning stamp. The cloning stamp is this tool is magic. This tool right here is magic. So you can basically duplicate anything that you see. Duplicate anything that you see, or remove anything as well. And it's see, a lot of these tools do the same thing, but it's all about preference, and it's all about, you know, what it can do and how clean it can make it. So, you know, remember we said the healing brush can like remove pimples and blemishes and stuff like that from the face, right? So, but the cloning stamp can also do the same thing. Let me, oh, you know what? Let me create a new. Let me go ahead and stamp this visible real quick, and let me show you guys. Let me create this layer here. All right. So let's say I want to remove, let's say this beauty mark right here, which I would never do. I love that. I like that to be there. So I would select from hold down the Alt key and select from a different part of the skin, and just paint right over it. Now you see how it really didn't blend it in a lot. That's why the healing brush comes into play, because a lot of times if this is on, it'll just, you know, it'll make it too bright, it'll make the area too dark, and it's just a way you have to finesse it. But you can really do a lot with this, and I use this tool a lot with backdrops and stuff like that, or hair removal as well. So let me show you, like, you know, see these flyaway hairs, so I'll use this tool for that. Boom, that's gone. Boom, that's gone. Get deeper, get in there. And I'm always selecting from different areas because I don't want it to look generally the same. But you see how the problem comes in, where it doesn't match all the time what you're trying to do. So you have to continue to go, you know, selecting from different areas and go back. Okay, so this area would be better for that. Boom. Okay, that matches a lot better. So it's just, you have to get really, really good with the cloning stamp, because it's such a powerful tool. And I know personally, like, this tool can do so much. Use it to remove lint. I can use it to remove, you know, little hairs. I can remove this whole ring. Look, I can get deeper into it by changing the hardness of it, and then blend it in. Boom, it's gone. You know. So that's the clone stamp. And those are my mostly used tools, you guys. If you guys want to know anything about any other tools, just make sure you comment below. I'm going to be having tutorials that's going to be coming out on just about everything with Photoshop. I've been using Photoshop for quite some time, and it's something that I like to not confuse a lot of things with, because Photoshop can be scary. When you first open Photoshop, it can be scary when you see all these things and you have no idea what all this stuff does. And there's a ton. I mean, a ton. I still feel like I don't use no more than but 10% of what Photoshop has to offer. And just looking at some of the work that other people do with Photoshop, it amazes me still to this day, because it's just like, I don't know some of that stuff. I don't know how to use that. What is that? And I still question myself. But if you take the time out, you can learn this stuff. You can really learn. Like, dedicate a couple hours a day to learning Photoshop, and you will become good at it. It's all about just memory, just knowing what tool does what. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate you guys watching, and please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel. It helps me. And I can continue to bring you guys this type of content. If there anything you guys want to see, just comment it in below. I'll make a video about it. And if I don't know it, I'll go out and do the research for you to make the video about it. Like I said, I'm not a pro with Photoshop, but I know what to do to create the best looking images possible. All right, you guys. So you guys have a good day, and see you on the next video.